All right, all right, all right. What's up, y'all? What's up? We are B to the M to the doggone B, man. We are back again. Man, we got some good news. We got some good news for y'all. We got a lot of things that's going on, some changes, and then also some things that are happening, right now that we got to talk about. So, um, once again, I want to introduce my guys here. I got my man Meldrick over here, man. Meldrick, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
I'm doing pretty good. Man. Doing all right. Pretty good day for me. How about y'all?
Doing good, man. I like that shirt you got on, man. What kind of shirt is that?
Oh, that's the uncomparable, the fantastic for my family brand. Yeah.
Okay.
Justin Houston and Brandon Howard, they are the CEOs of that company right there.
Okay.
So definitely as you can see, there's three different types of shirts. And so you got the first generation and you got the other generations right after that. And you see they come in multiple colors. They got lots of stuff. So we'll definitely post a link so you guys can check it out. Stuff for every part of the year, for every season. They start winter stuff, summer stuff, spring stuff, fall stuff. And lots of different colors, lots of different styles. You can definitely find you something that you like in their clothing line. So definitely check it out. ForMyFamily.com.
As for you, Justin and Brandon, much love,
Yeah.
respect to y'all.
If y'all didn't know, that's my man Brent. Brent, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm just glad to be black.
Just glad to be black.
I'm just
Light
glad.
skin black, but you black.
I'm light skinned, but
Just glad to
I'm
be light
black.
skinned.
I'm black.
He's still black though. Still counts.
It counts. It's some
Still
light
counts.
skins like us that we know how to raise hell.
What'd you call them, Farrakhan?
We know how to be some fair con.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Brent, man, what's going on? So B&B, we just did something new. We're kind of embarking on a new journey, going into a new direction. So can you tell the people just a little bit about what's going on and what we're about to start?
You want me to start with the good news or the bad news first?
Start with the bad news and you end with the good news.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you used to hear it every Tuesday on Z Radio Live, and the bad news is that we're not going to be on there anymore. And but hey, thank you to
Zach
them,
and
to Zach and them for taking a chance on us and working with us and showing us some things that we did not know about broadcasting, about being on the air. And he even said, you know, just don't let this be the last time we hear from you. If you need help, call. And that's exactly what we need. But, that is the bad news that we're not going to be on the station yet. But if you look, if you look
On your screen.
on my screen,
Yeah.
is it to my left?
it's to your right.
To my right?
To your right.
Is it to you?
Raise your right hand.
Yeah.
All right, it's to my right. And everything on camera on the other side, so I'm a little slow. And but if you look right here, you see what that say? What that say there? That say B&B Soul Radio. Y'all, we have started our own radio station on 360 Live. So if you go to your app store, look up 365 Live, and then just in the search engine, if you just type in B&B, but B&B Soul Radio will pop up. We have the very best in 70s, 80s, 90s R&B, New Jack Swing, gospel, and smooth jazz and hip hop. So you're gonna hear some
Everything.
You're gonna hear some what's my favorite gospel artist? Richard Smallwood. You're gonna hear some Patti LaBelle. You might hear some Snoop Dogg. You're gonna hear some Boney James. You're gonna hear hopefully some Cerns, but it's a little mixture of everything. Everything. You're gonna hear the stylistics. What's one of their songs? No, not stylistic. what's that group that's saying, you you are everything
That
and
the is that
everything
the
to
float? Not the floaters.
you.
Who is that?
Oh, you are every. I
That's
can't remember.
Patty.
That,
Did Patty LaBelle like that or
nah,
no?
well, she did it years
She redid
later,
it.
but the
Okay.
original group that did it was, is it the Dreams? I need my daddy. Dad, I know he would know exactly who they are. And then you're gonna hear the 80s, you're gonna hear some New Jack. Oh, I forgot my favorite genre of music, New Jack Swing. The creator Teddy Riley, and then you're gonna hear some Keith Sweat from the King of New Jack Swing. I wanna, and then going on to with his wine and self. So everybody always say Keith Sweat's wine, but man, the brother dropped some hits. He got some hits.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we trying something new. Matter of fact, we have a website. If you go to bmbempower.com, you'll see all our information from everything from the podcast to if you look above my head, BNB Tell It Like It Is, you can find all the links to the BNB Tell It Like It Is, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and then the name of our network is BNB Empower. So it's all underneath that umbrella. So we're trying something new. We hope that y'all will join us on the journey. And you know, hey, God is good. God is good. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
He is. So I'm proud of what we're doing. I'm thankful for what we're doing. I'm thankful for the vision that God gave us to do this, and hopefully to help change the world, to bring some light to some dark situations that's going on in this world. So hey, I'm happy. So how do
All
y'all feel
right.
about it? No, I want to. I want to. What y'all think about it?
No. Well,
I'm
thank you, Brett. That's what we needed. So you did a great job. We're going let's get to the show. Let's get to the show.
we both feel good about it.
Yeah, we feel great. let's let's move on. No, thank you, Brett. Hey, you did a good job, bro. Appreciate that.
Now, what y'all think? Y'all have your own radio station.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
like legit. No, we are
Yeah.
very excited. Like for real,
Yeah,
for real.
for real.
I mean, cause y'all hearing all that time when Mel be talking about B&B late night. Now, I mean, now he can actually do a B&B late night.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
the
get
thing.
it.
Yeah, it opens up more opportunities, and so that's what I love about it. Like, and so the doors. I mean, it's just open, man. It's just so much that we can do, and so many other areas we can go in. So
Right.
I really think it is definitely going to be a success. I think people should get used to it. Hearing that,
Mm.
BNB Soul Radio, get used to it. BNB Empower Network.
Yeah.
So these are going to be some names that you guys hear us, use quite often. So I'm excited, man. I'm very excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you again. Let's move on. All right. Thank you. I'm just messing with y'all, but for real, we're gonna move on. We got some topics we're gonna talk about. Today we got and I'll probably just hit some of the main things. I'm not gonna give y'all everything we're gonna talk about. We're just gonna kind of bring some of the topics up, but just some of the main topics you guys probably already know. The war in Afghanistan, and how we've pulled troops out, and just kind of what's going on there right now. Also, um, Como resigning and the reasons why Como resigned in the state of New York. There's also some textbooks that have been released that are giving false information, and so we're gonna speak on that and just kind of our take on it, and then Melgic is bringing another relationship topic, and of course we can't leave sports out. We're gonna hit sports probably at the very end of the show. So you guys who love the sports and want like to hear about us talking about sports, we're gonna talk about it at the end of the show. Okay, and so just to get started, I wanted to bring up something. So there's this guy, the My Pillow guy. I don't know if you guys heard of him.
I wonder where you going with this.
You would where I was going with it. So it's a My Pillow guy. You guys probably seen him on TV. You may have even bought one of his pillows.
Not me. I'm glad I ain't never bought none of them daggone pillows.
Mr.
Hey,
Mike
I don't.
Lindell. Yeah.
I don't know. This is news to me.
You
I
bought one of
haven't
his
heard.
pillows, Mildred?
I don't even know who the dude is.
But
So
you
this is
bought a
news
pillow.
to.
Oh, you
I,
don't?
I have no idea.
Okay.
This is news to me.
Right.
So
He's got those like those commercials talking about that pillow. It's supposed to give you better sleep and all this other
mhm.
stuff.
Made millions from it.
Yeah, definitely made millions from it. Businessman, millionaire.
Mhm.
Um, knows all a lot of the big wigs. Kind of runs. Is always at the Republican conventions, and with Donald Trump. Everywhere. So basically, he held a cyber symposium this past weekend for 72 hours, right? Um, Basically to say, show proof of election fraud and that, the Biden or that the election was stolen by China. And so
But
um,
the most recent election.
the most recent election, yeah. And so he's been, hyping this up, going on news shows and telling people he's got all this information, 37 terabytes of information. That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Terabytes can hold thousands of files.
Yeah.
And he's got 37 terabytes of information showing, this this election fraud.
Oh
So
my
they showed
goodness.
some clips on like I think it was CNN or he was doing some type of interview. Some of the clips
Uh-huh.
and they had like their data analysts and cyber tech guys. Look at the information that he showed and it none of it made sense. Some of these people were like, what it was just funny. And so one thing I read about it, the people that showed up, you saw, there's a bunch of Republican representatives with some of their staff, and they said not a lot of people stayed till the end, and so
Mm.
um, I don't know. I just thought that was funny, um, you know, to bring up. So people are out here
What?
still trying to claim election fraud, and nothing's been proven yet.
Well, Braxton, the whole thing with all that crappy is one dude was interviewing him. He said, well, what about the proof? And he said, forget about the evidence and the proof. He said, I have terabytes of information to show you the fraud that was going on. But the man was like, well, if you just give us the proof,
Right.
that will solve a lot of. He said, well, no, forget about that. Look at the terabytes.
Yeah, and
And
the
this
stuff he's showing
this
is
is
just screenshots of like information, but it's
Right.
nothing. It doesn't make any sense. There's
And
nothing.
exactly.
There's nothing in there
and
showing
and
the
this
fraud.
and this is the pillow guy.
The pillow guy.
And my pillow guy. The my pillow guy. You have to watch it. It's
I'll look
it's
it up
quite
and see.
entertaining. Quite entertaining.
It's just, how you go from pillows to election fraud?
Right.
Okay. Sure,
Yeah.
sure, buddy. Sure, pal.
It is quite entertaining, and I think supposedly he was pushing the narrative that once we saw this information that they would the government would realize and they would
Mm-hmm.
put Trump back in office and realize that the election really was won by Trump. I mean, how long have they been pushing this narrative? And how many times have they said Trump is supposed to be back in office and it doesn't happen?
Wait a minute.
Right.
Wasn't on was it August the 13th or the 14th? He was supposed to be reinstated.
It's been so many days. QAnon had a date. This My Pillow guy has a date. Everybody's got a date. They're still out here praying for angels from Africa to put Trump in office. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my goodness.
What's going on in our world, y'all?
That's so terrible.
What's going on? Okay.
Terrible.
All right. So enough of that, Michael and Dell. If you have My Pillow, burn it, please.
Yeah.
Right.
Or throw it away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's move on to the next topic. So just one thing I wanted to mention, we don't really have to get into this heavy, but the Taliban in Afghanistan, they're coming back. They're coming back. They're not playing around. U.S. is taking troops out. Biden has decided to take troops out. We've been over there too long. He says he really didn't know how else to do it. Americans wanted this to happen, so he started, pulling troops out. Now the Taliban is taking over again. They've just took the capital, and it's only been how long? How long has it been? What, like about a week or so, or
week,
or
right.
less. Yeah, just about a week, and they've already taken the capital.
I think they
Um,
are. I want to say what I saw.
mhm,
They have like 75% of the of Afghanistan uh seized or sieged or whatever, however,
mhm,
whatever you call it.
Uh,
They are like on they
yeah,
are like they have 75% of of Afghanistan
yeah,
under Talibanian power, if
right.
that's how you say it. And
Yeah,
I
they're
but
not
it
playing around.
right now and I want to say I heard something they were talking about sending about 3,000 Marines over there
uh,
to
Hmm.
help do something. I can't remember exactly what.
Yeah.
And it'll take a little while to do that. Because I knew that they're still trying to get people from over there
Hmm.
back to the states. But I guess they don't want everything. They don't want them to fall completely out of control. That's why they'll send them
Hmm.
over there to help them
Oh,
in
yeah.
some form and fashion.
well,
But they've taken a lot. I've heard they've
yeah.
seized tanks and weapons and
Ooh,
American
Yeah,
American tanks, American weapons,
yeah, because
already. Yeah, since the American U.S. has been leaving.
well,
yeah,
the president spoke. He said that he's standing by his choice to
Hmm.
bring the troops home. He said he does not. He said he does not want another president having to deal with this after his administration.
Hmm.
And you know, 20 years. We've been there for 20 years.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and you hear about the mentality too of the Taliban, I guess, versus some of the Afghanistan's.
Right,
They talk about how the Taliban, these guys are willing to die for what
right.
yeah,
they believe in and for their country, and just well, for what they believe in, and their group. And some of these Afghanistan's are, I mean, they've gotten used to kind of
Um,
democracy
yeah,
and the way
right,
and a
exactly.
certain way of living, and wanting to be there for their family, so they're not trying to die, and so.
right,
President Biden said, I think he was just saying that they taught them what to do, and it's about the will to fight for the
mhm,
country, and so it's just crazy because you even see, I think some of the USA jets or the U.S. jets, you see a lot of Afghanistan's out there standing because they want to leave, you know,
yeah,
people who've been helping America out, and so I think Biden's planning on a way to try to get more of uh, some of the Afghanistan's who have been helping the U.S. while they've
Uh-huh.
been over there to get them out and some of the refugees out. But yeah, it's something developing, and it's crazy when you look at it. But
And
you just wonder, how do we get people out? We can't
right,
stay there forever.
exactly,
Yeah.
right,
exactly. And in 2008, President Obama tried this. He tried to end it.
Hmm.
Wouldn't happen. And to Republicans that are trying to speak out against what Biden did, well, just get this: in 2018, Trump was trying to do the same thing. He
Hmm.
said, matter of fact, he said we're starting the process of getting the troops out of Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
That
Yeah.
came out of his mouth.
Yeah.
yeah,
So he tried and it didn't work out, but
Hmm.
it was able to get done under the Biden administration.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, like you just said, we've been there for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gave you the tools, what you need to do, how to run your country properly.
Right.
And
Yeah.
$2.2 trillion have been spent on this war.
War. Yeah. Yeah.
mm,
So,
You think about it, it's hard to fight a war for another country.
and then this
Um,
the longest war.
I'm sure it is.
I think it is.
yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it's the longest war we ever had.
Yeah. It's
yeah. I don't
hard.
think any other wars were 20 years long.
No,
Yeah. I think the intent is right to establish, democracy and to help another country that needs help against terrorist groups. That's
Right,
right. Like we should definitely be on board for that. But to be there that long doing that is, it's hard, especially hard on families and people
right,
who
uh-huh.
these troops left behind. And so
yeah,
it's tough, but someone's got to do it. Yeah,
yeah.
someone's got to do it. But so with that being said, we got some more topics. Did y'all know that uh, slaves immigrated to the U.S.? They got on boats from from Africa and came to the U.S. Man, chose
on the
chose to chose to chose to work the fields and help build America.
we
I
went
know
on the
that.
boats ourselves.
Yeah.
We just migrated over
Well,
here.
some people helped brought us. They helped bring us
No,
over. They helped bring us over. But slaves
Well,
immigrated.
just to
Huh?
look at that, what's the
Go ahead.
definition of immigration? Just like what you were just saying, Braxton,
Uh-huh.
an action of coming to live permanently in a foreign country. So that means they
Hmm.
made the decision to come there themselves.
Right. Right.
That's what immigration means. They said, oh, we leaving here. We going over there to live
Right.
a better life, a better productive life. We the
it was
we the
Right.
only set of folks that were brought here and changed. I think we were the only. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a
No,
good point there. But yeah, so
we didn't migrate here. We didn't say, oh, we are leaving Mother Africa
yeah,
and we moving on over here to the United States.
that's true.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
just
that's sarcasm, just in case y'all didn't catch that. We
Right.
really
And
did not
we,
migrate
we, we decided to get our foot chopped off from running away from where we were. And I'm talking about Kunta.
he
He
what he can.
refused.
yeah,
He
He
refused
refused
to
to
be
be.
called Toby.
yeah.
Yep.
Refused to be called Toby. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
but
we migrated here.
but yes, so we bring this up because there is a lie and just lies being told in general. There's some right wing U.S. textbooks now that you're starting to see in schools and private schools and some Christian schools pop up where they teach that slavery was U.S. Immigration, right? Um, they also
Amazing.
teach that some of the, I think the Indians were like a lower group or lesser group of people, um, and that they pretty much, came here to help us out or help people
Mhm.
out, and build this nation. So, I mean, just Brent, I know you sent us that article.
Mhm.
What else did you read about it? Did you see anything else about these textbooks that the right wing are pushing?
Well, I think I mentioned before, Steve Bannon, right wing. He has he used to be part of the Trump administration. Um, he was a true right winger. So that tells me again, why would you have somebody like that on your team if you halfway don't think like that yourself? So
Hmm.
Right.
just to all some of you black Republicans that are for Trump. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, he said one of the main positions you want to run for a school board. That's what he was telling. That's what this right winger was telling people: run for school board because you can control what you are putting in your child's mind. So
Hmm.
all this evil thought of critical race theory that they're pushing, which ain't being taught there in the first place, and now they're trying to sugarcoat or whitewash even regular American history like Susan B. Anthony, women's right, um, Cesar Chavez, and Dr. King.
Yeah.
And with this here, this will ultimately whitewash history, trying to make seem like slavery was. They're not gonna say they're gonna say black immigration. They're not gonna even say slavery.
Right.
So they
Yeah,
just totally trying to erase history,
history.
trying
Yeah.
to make themselves look more better in a light. But like Shirley Caesar said, we know the truth. As a song said, we know the truth. And
Yeah.
this is a lie, and the truth ain't in none of them what they saying. So that's why elections have consequences, voting have consequences. That's why these local you're being involved in your kids' school, like going to the. I remember my parents, and Melody, I remember yours at Meredith. Our parents were very thick in
Yeah.
what's going on at Meredith when it came to us, and I think today that same thing has to happen. You got to be involved in what's going on because they're just going in here changing these laws, hoping you don't care. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's basically what it is. And I mean, just kind of the some more things that I read, just kind of
mhm.
over that article. Now that I think about it, and when you said Martin Luther King, it made me think about it. They said they're pushing. They're even saying there's black supremacists. And then they said Malcolm X is one of the
Right,
biggest.
Yes.
black supremacist. And I'm like, really? Is that what he was? Malcolm X.
Yes.
And is black supremacy even a thing? Um,
Right.
you know. So I mean, they're pushing this narrative. It's crazy. It's crazy, and but it's. I mean, with some of the stuff they've done before now, it doesn't surprise me that the right wing are pushing these textbooks. Hopefully, uh, the administration or someone, the courts
Yeah.
can somehow come up with a way to get these textbooks out of these schools. Just
And
because, yeah, it's not
Braxton,
right.
funny you said that supremacy. Once again, let's look at what these words mean. Supremacy is a state or condition of being superior to all others and authority, power, and status. So, how can us as blacks be? First off, we can't be racist and we can't be supremacists because we're not the superior race in this country.
Right.
Well, I mean,
So,
you could be you'd say racist.
we can be prejudiced, but we can't because racism is dealing with the definition term of that is
Mhm.
being the superior race. You're
Or
more dominant.
yeah, feeling like that
You're a racist.
is superior to all others.
So I mean,
Right.
somebody feeling like the black race is superior.
That means we're
So
the
the race doesn't
majority.
mean that they're racist, though. I mean, racism. So to treat somebody differently because of their skin. If I'm black and I treat a white person wrong, that's not racism because of the color
Is
of
it
their skin.
For black people, I don't think it's racist. I think you being a bigot and you being prejudiced. But um,
I get the supremacy word because we're not the uh, like you said, we're not the majority, and we're not the
mhm.
ones who had really the authority to really even say that we were supreme over any other race in America.
right?
So I get that thought, but then racism, even though the
I mean,
racism, when we think about racism, we don't really connect that with black people
Mhm.
because
and you
of
can
the
and you
race,
can be
because of what was done to us, right?
you can
Right.
But
definitely
I
be
think
you.
black people can be racist. I think anybody really could be racist.
Yeah, if you don't like somebody because of their skin color, then by definition you are racist. But I mean, I don't like when you said prejudice. Prejudice is a little bit different because prejudice is you just prejudging somebody and you don't
Before
know
you
that,
know them.
right? You know what I'm saying? You just being
Yeah.
you. That's what
Okay.
prejudice is, just prejudging
Hmm.
somebody, and that doesn't have to do anything with skin color or anything. You just
Hmm.
let's just say, for example, you're out and about. You let's just say, for example, you go to a restaurant, and the restaurant is of high class, and you see somebody that comes in there that's not dressed for high class per se,
Okay.
and
Hmm.
you look at them and you're prejudiced. They let's just say they come in there and they're dressed in, you know, they dress way down, like they're
Yeah. Yeah.
super casual, and you look at them and prejudge them, and you're being prejudiced by saying, oh, they don't need to be in here because they're not dressed high class enough to be in here. They mean me, and in your thoughts saying that they're
Mm-hmm.
not worthy. They can't afford this place because they're not dressed
Dressed a
properly.
certain kind.
Hmm.
Because
Right.
I was just kind of going by the definition of racism. It says
Hmm.
prejudice, discrimination, or direct against a person or people on a basis of their membership in a particular race or ethnic group.
Hmm.
Typically, one that is minority. So
Mm,
that's what they're
typically,
saying. Typically, minority.
yeah.
So that's why I was saying
I
we
think
are the minority.
yeah, that's typically how it works, right?
Hmm.
Right.
Typically, but I think it can work the other way too.
Yeah, we
Now,
Um,
can.
if
but yeah, I mean
I
I get
think
what you're saying too. Go ahead, Brent. I'm sorry.
I think for the next thing you better talk about now that we becoming, we'll get into that, and then maybe in my mind maybe we can become racist because of the things that are going to be happening in this country. But to me, after looking at that definition, when it's going towards minority, typically we are the minority. That's why I say
Hmm.
we
But
can't
I
be.
mean,
But
if we
I see what
became the
y'all saying.
majority,
Hmm.
how would you treat other people?
Then we are racist. if we're the majority.
Mhm. If we treated other people
If we did
differently because of their
differently,
skin, yeah.
right? Like if white folks become the minority and we start becoming the majority, we basically flip flop the thing. Then yeah, then we are because we're the majority and they're the minority.
That's what I think. But I think too, where you were getting at is I think the wordings. I think I heard this. I can't remember who
Uh,
I heard this from, but the idea of like whiteness and blackness that didn't come up. That didn't come from us.
right.
That came from white people.
Hmm.
That idea of like these colors and you're that color, I'm this color, and this
Right,
color is better than your color.
right,
That idea didn't come from us. And so the fact um, that people use that as a way to identify you when it's really, I mean, you're not, I mean, they call you black, but you're really not black.
Right.
You're
hmm
African American, right?
Hmm.
right.
That's really what you are. So that idea of colors that didn't come from us.
Right.
And so
Well,
I think
And
that may have been where you was going with that.
mm,
and
but
it's
I,
funny you. I was going to say it's funny you say that, and it's like I I read something about in the and about the about the Olympics. Matter of fact, and it says at the Olympics you are not African American, you are American. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so, but in our country, you're an American, but you are a certain type of American.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't hear Caucasian American, you don't hear white American,
right.
you hear African American, Asian American, his his Mexican American or whatever.
Right.
Every other race except or every other ethnicity except for Caucasian, you are that American versus just American. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
That kind of lays the groundwork for our next topic. So, next topic says the U.S. shows, or the census, I'm sorry, shows the U.S. is becoming diversified, right? Diversified, kind of like a portfolio or your stocks, right? You want them diversified. You don't want the same
Right.
stock or all your money in just one stock. You want it
Oh,
diversified, right?
that's pretty good there, that boy.
So
That's pretty good.
you want to diversify, right? But yeah, what I mean, diversify, right? So basically, you're seeing a bunch of different, multiracial people, minorities, in the U.S., and you're seeing the white race numbers shrink with this last census. So,
Hmm.
I mean, what does that say to you guys? What's about to happen? What's going?
We finna be the ones that's gonna be racist. I
the
play.
changing of the guard.
No, we can't. We can't do the same thing that was done to us, right?
Right.
At least we
Uh,
shouldn't do it. We shouldn't.
That's what
We
they
shouldn't.
fear. That is their biggest fear. That
yeah,
is what they are fearing at the
We
moment.
and
shouldn't.
that's what they feared when Obama took off. They were scared. I was like, oh no, they gonna do to us what we did to them, and we were like, no, we
That's not on our minds.
no, we're
We
not
just
we're not that evil like that.
right. We trying to be equal. We ain't trying to take over.
Hmm. But it says here, people of color represent 43% of the total U.S. population in 2020, up from 34% in 2010, and that came from CNN.com. So
Mhm.
that's a big. What? That's 11%.
Yeah.
That's 11%.
10%.
So that's that ain't nothing to see. But you know what? That also plays a part in what's going on right now with all this voter suppression.
Mhm.
That's a key role why they want to keep the power. So even if when they become the minority,
Mhm.
yet they'll still have control.
Yeah,
Right.
They'll still
that's
have
true.
rules set in place in their favor for the
Mhm.
next 40, 50, 60 years. That's why when Donald Trump was in office, he was putting all these right wing judges that were at the age of 35 to 45 years old. So that
Mhm.
means at least he can get 30 to 40, 50 years out of work, out of labor from these folks to
Yeah,
vote their way.
Yeah.
And if you look at what Biden's putting in, he has put more black judges on the bench than any president in U.S. history.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now he's already put his fourth black woman on the federal bench,
Mm-hmm.
and he just added a brother to a major district court in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a power thing.
Mm-hmm.
If they can control the power, that if they control the legislations right now, that's why all these laws are able to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, when redistricting and stuff goes on, perfect example. There's a county here in Texas that has probably 100 people. Harris County has 4 million people. Harris County is bigger than a lot of states here in the country. And what are Republicans trying to do now? They're trying to put one polling place for each county.
Mm-hmm.
You said 4 million people?
4 million people, Harris County, you want one polling place versus a county that only has 100 people.
They can handle that. 100 people can handle one polling place.
One county can handle one polling, but how can Harris County handle one polling place out for 4 million people?
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible.
Is it one polling place every so many miles, or is it just one?
Right.
One
From what I read,
mm-hmm.
it was saying one polling place. Period.
In
but
the whole entire county.
But now I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll come back next week and say I'm wrong. But if that is true, they're not just hurting African American voters; they're hurting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, they are. But they're banking on that. Your minority voters or African American voters won't be able to stay there and wait as long.
But the whole thing with Republicans and Democrats, the less voter turnout leans towards Republicans, the more voter turnout leans towards Democrat. And so there you go.
So they're doing it in their favor, basically.
Right. It'll hopefully be in their favor. So, because if we sit in line, they say line's gonna be 7 hours. We're gonna be like, man, I ain't gonna be sitting on line no 7-10 hours. Forget, even though they did do that in the last elections, but
I think we realize it's important.
That's a long time, though.
But some people will be like, no, we're not sitting that long.
And then they made it illegal for you to pass out food and water to people waiting in those long lines. Mm-hmm. So they know what they're doing.
Yeah, and so I mean, I can't be mad at the tactic. I mean, it's smart if you see yourself becoming the minority, and you're about to be phased out. Then what other plan do you have? I mean, what other means do you have? So it's smart, but then now the other party, the Democrats, have to get on board and play the same game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because that's what it should be.
Grow a backbone and fight just like they fight to do wrong. Y'all need to fight like heck to do right, like these Democrats are doing in Texas. And just think about it. These people left their families. They're not getting paid. They're risking a lot of stuff just to fight for the rights to vote, for the people to have the right to vote.
Yeah.
And like that one sister said from Washington, D.C., we still fighting the same thing. After 60 years, we still fighting this. Why can't we fight something else? Fight climate change. Move to that.
We can't. We still
fighting for voter
rights. We can't even get COVID right.
No.
People don't want to wear masks, and so
or get vaccinated.
And people don't want their kids to wear masks, and the kids can't even get vaccinated. So there's a lot of things we can't do right that we should be right.
That's true.
A lot of things that we can't do that we should be. No, that's good though. That's real good. Man.
What you think?
No means no, right? Like if a woman tell you to like stop, like like don't touch me in that way, or like don't make those comments.
Right. Yeah.
Now when I was younger, my cousin, he was older than me. He told me no means yes. That's what he told me. And when I asked,
that is a very, very small percentage.
That's what my cousin told me. But I
Very,
was
very small
young.
percentage.
I was a little kid. I didn't know any better.
What's
Right?
your cousin doing now?
Oh, he married. He married. But his wife told me that was wrong advice.
Oh,
She
Right,
said no means no. If a girl
right.
tell you no, then that means no. Right?
of
Okay.
course.
If we all, I just want to make sure we all on the same page. I don't know.
Mhm.
Right.
Mildred may live about a different credo.
No,
He may
no,
think
no,
if they tell you no,
She better
that
say
really mean yes,
you
don't it,
ain't finna
Mildred?
get him caught up in
no,
this
no,
foolishness.
no, no equal no. When you
Or does
say
no
no, I might leave. Okay, fine.
Right.
or does no mean go?
Yeah, nope.
No,
No,
no means
no,
no. Okay.
No mean no, no. Stop. Pause.
Right.
End. No more.
No more. Okay.
Yep.
no is a complete sentence that owes no
Well, okay.
explanation.
You can say no means go home.
No
Yeah.
means
So
go home.
There
Okay.
you go.
Right. Okay. So that's good. So I'm glad we all on the same page. So I brought that up to say Governor Cuomo resigned.
Oh, that's who you talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sexually harassed, that's what they're saying. He sexually harassed 11 women. There was findings that it wasn't consensual, the touching and the comments and things that he made. Some of these women were on his staff. I think it was Letitia James.
Yeah.
Uh,
mhm.
she what is she, Brent? She's
The attorney
the
general
attorney
for the
general.
state of New York.
Okay, yeah. So she had hired a private investigator to investigate a lot of these findings and found that 11 women had legit claims against Governor Cuomo. So he resigned, and there's a lot of talk about his family legacy, things like that, because I think it just kind of like his
It's
dad, and I
sustained.
think just they kind of
His
all been governors and part
right.
of
His
the
dad was the governor of New York. You
yeah,
know, his Chris Cuomo has one of the most popular shows on CNN in
right,
prime time.
yeah.
So
And so their family just kind of been engulfed, I guess, in the politics there in New York. So it's been a big deal to talk about. But man, I mean, 11 women. Um, you would just think, you got all this power, man, and why? Like, why? I know he's single. He's. I mean, I'm sure he's, but you can't go out and just find you one, like
right.
find you one to leave these other women alone.
A
That's just
woman who
crazy.
gonna tell you yes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you're the governor of New York, right?
Somebody will tell you yes.
Like somebody,
It is being thrown at you, and
right?
you so happen to mess with the women that said, "I'm no, I don't
That's working
know."
with you, or the one
Right.
who's yeah,
And
Right.
so you can't go around calling that Republican hoax or something because them folks that work for you.
these people that work for you, and so I don't know. I think it's just a bad look on Cuomo, not not the family. I would hope not the family as a whole, but
All right.
just on Governor Cuomo. But yeah, man, it's just crazy. I just wanted to bring that up,
Right.
just to kind of mention it because it is a big topic right now. And they have their first woman governor
Right. It
ever
look
in the state of New
right.
York since Governor Cuomo resigned. So that's something that's pretty cool. With that being said, the no means no topic. Let's move on to our relationship topic, Mildred. What you got for us?
All right. So
What you got?
I had something I wanted to bring up to y'all. I know there's a few people out here who give relationship advice, and I think we've talked about a few of them. Now there's one guy, uh, Mr. Samuels.
Oh,
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, Mr.
He be
Samuels.
killing them.
Yeah,
Be killing them.
and
But he be killing
so
everybody. He
right,
get on
he
men
do.
too. He
He
get
he
on
get
men
do,
on it.
too. Yeah.
he do, but he mostly woman bash a lot. But there was one thing that he brought up once before, and he's called what he called a high value man or a high value woman.
Mhm.
And so my relationship topic today was going to be about what initially, because when he talked about high value, he was talking about financials,
Mhm.
financially.
Mhm.
So, and my question was, and of the relationship topic was, what really determines one's value? Like, is it just financially this returns something that determines someone's value? Does it not have to do with finances at all? What really determines someone's value, in y'all's opinion? Like, what really determines someone's value? I have a couple of things that I feel like that determine someone's value. but I want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think determines someone's value?
That depends on what state of life. I mean, what circle you move in. I mean, that can be a high value in church life. That's a high value in hood life.
Well, I'm talking about as far as is dating and in relationship. Like what
Okay.
what determines someone's value?
Wait, what's
What
the
you say?
high value in hood life? Explain that, Brent. Like,
I
He
mean, ghetto living ghetto fabulous. You
Oh,
ain't
like,
you
never
talking
heard of
about
that?
the top the biggest dope boy in the
Yeah,
hood?
yeah.
okay,
Or they
He moving the most weight.
moving the most
weight,
weight.
and they got the most pull in the family. Everything they do is hustling. And then but you got church folk. I mean, you high value folks in church and the church community. I mean,
I get that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense. But
yeah.
I'm talking
But
about
you
as
talking
far
about,
as
I'm
in
sorry.
relationship, as far as dating and in relationships, what determines someone's value in y'all's
But the
opinion?
funny thing with Kevin said, like anytime he asked the woman what her number was, she could not use the number 8. It had to be either she thinks she a 9 or a 10, or she could not use the number 8. And I can't remember his reason behind that.
I think because
Mhm.
And
it's a median number.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
It's something they don't want to they don't want to think too highly of themselves to call themselves a 9 or a 10. But if you say that you're below a 8, that means I guess you
Yeah,
almost thinking that you
right.
got low self-esteem and
Singing
Mhm.
it.
you don't think you're all that, I
And
guess.
then, but some of them women, they be thinking they work for high quality man, but then after that, after some of them women, when he be telling them, you smelling yourself and you ain't worth two nickels rubbed together, your dang self. And then, but how can you require a high quality man, but you're not high quality yourself?
Right. And
Yeah,
see,
some of
but
them.
You
see the
you
thing
you
and
full of debt, and you can't pay your bills, and you looking for a man to take care of you, and you behind on everything that you know.
Mhm. Yeah,
well
that's a good point.
that's my question.
Hmm.
Okay.
What in y'all's opinion, what determines someone's value? Like what makes a
Yeah,
person valuable?
For me, what makes a woman valuable to me, if she is taking care of her, like it, if I come into the picture, I'm just added, what you call it? I, I'm
like
just
a.
an added value to her,
Mhm.
because
Hmm.
she's already doing good for herself.
Mhm.
Now, if I gotta come in there and clean up anything that you got messed up, or you gotta come in my life and clean up anything that I done messed up, I mean, we all are a work in progress. Don't get me wrong, we are all a work in progress. But if I'm dating a woman and she got everything going for, like she can take care of herself for her bills, she knows her finances, she knows things what's going on in this world, not just what's going on in pop culture. But you can, what you know who your congressman is. You can tell me that. You know who the vice president is, or the senators, or stuff like that. Stuff that
Hmm.
has some substance to it that's going on in the world. Like you knowing all the women in Real Housewives of Atlanta and all that, that don't mean nothing to me. So
Hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what brings value. And then, I mean, you smart as a whip. You love your freedom and things like that. I hope that answers your question.
Mhm.
Well, that's one
Yeah,
perspective. What
that's one
about you,
perspective.
Braxton? What do you think?
Yeah, and value, man, it can be found in. I think it can be found in a lot of different ways. It really comes down to I think what you value
Right.
as a person. That's what you're gonna look for in her or in your
True.
woman. So like I know things that I value um would be like, career, finances, having your finances together, having your mental health together, emotionally, um, spiritually being together.
Forgot to add that.
So spiritually, you got to be in the right place.
Right.
Um, and then even like even with family, like like how you
Mhm.
treat your family um is big to me. And so, and some of the things I
Mhm.
don't that I
Right.
realize that I value now, um, I didn't even think about like before I married my wife. And I'm like, man, when I look back at it, I'm like, man, those are actually things that I value, and I have those in her, you know. And so, it's crazy, man. But
Mhm.
yeah, things that you value, that's what you look
Ain't no need
for.
for you to look no further, huh?
Yeah, no, I just it's all there. She's got it. And so things that you value, that's what you'll start looking for. And so, um, like family,
Right.
like I said, family, finances, friendships, um, spiritually, those are things that I value. And so that's, that's what I look for. I mean, you can find value in other areas.
Right.
Um, but then if that's what you want, then go for it. But I think value can be, it's just based on what you value. Just
Right.
Right.
simple answer. For me, it is.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. Now, see, and I agree. I agree with both of y'all. And see, what I was thinking about when I think of as far as value,
Mhm.
I try to eliminate the money aspect of it.
Mhm.
Like I try to find value in things that doesn't have to do with finances. Like
Mhm.
you said, Braxton, somebody who's family oriented. I find value in somebody who has morals. I find value in someone who cares about their character. I find
Mhm.
value in somebody who is um, who values friendships.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I find someone who like somebody who likes to laugh. You know,
Mhm.
somebody who likes to have fun. Somebody who likes music. And now, uh, since I've been dancing, I find value in somebody who likes to dance, uh, who likes to move. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
if you were a person who was who was extremely active or extremely fit or likes to be fit, you know what I'm saying? You will find value in somebody who also likes to be fit. Like you
Mhm.
said, you find value in things that in that person that you value. You know, you might find value in someone who enjoys cooking because you enjoy
Mhm.
cooking.
Mhm.
You might enjoy eating. So if somebody like to cook, you find value in that because you like to cook. You know, I
Mhm.
like to eat. You know, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I try to think of. It's like I try to separate finances because that's easy to go to because
Mhm.
value and money and all of that. That's easy because that's what you think of first
Mhm.
initially. But you can have be extremely wealthy and be extremely unhappy
Mhm.
because that's all you worried about was the money. You know what I'm saying? There's so much
Yeah.
other stuff to consider in in uh putting value on other than
Mhm.
just money. So
Mhm.
that's what I think of when I think of value. Because like I
Yeah.
said, when he's talking about high value people, most of the time
It's
all the
about
time
money.
he's talking about is money. He's not
Yeah.
talking about anything else. Because when people say, well, what do you bring to the table? They're usually talking about finances.
That's it.
Oh, because I have my life together with finances. I can take care of myself financially. You know what I'm saying?
Finances is important.
It
I'll
is.
say it's important. I don't. It's not everything.
You
It's
know,
definitely not everything. You don't want to look for it in
It's
a mate.
definitely in my top
But
three.
you, it's in Brent's top three. If you ladies didn't hear that, Brent said that's in his top three. So if you ain't got your
you got to
finances
have
Well,
money.
together,
not well,
you better go somewhere else.
let me correct that.
If you don't
Not
make
no,
$150,000 a year,
no.
you
I'm
can't.
not. I'm not.
we
You can
we
make
misquoting.
you can make $30,000 a year, but if you're wise with what you're doing with it, you
That's what I was
you
gonna
see
get
what I'm
to.
saying. You're
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
That's what I'm
mean,
getting to. So
that's
it's
what
not
I'm talking
everything, but
about.
it does it finances has value. And like Brent said, if you're wise and you know how to like financially plan and save money and not, live according to your means and not above your means, that shows you got someone
right,
who knows what they're doing. And then when they get more, they're gonna do what's right with it, right? And so and you guys together can
right.
only be better. Like she's gonna make you better, you make her better, and you guys will learn and grow together. And so it's not everything. It's important because you got to know how to manage it, manage it.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
sometimes you
Right.
guys, if somebody's weak in another area, somebody else can help them.
That's
But
true.
you don't want to try to change somebody either. So
Right.
you meet someone who's got some issues in some areas, and you don't have it in you to like work with them on those issues, then that's something you may need to think about.
Right.
Um, yeah.
You know what's something else that these past few years dating, especially when you go to a restaurant, how they treat the waiter,
Hmm. I didn't think
What you
about
mean?
that, but
Far
that's a
as
good point, bro.
how they
because
talk to him, or how they tip him?
both. But no, well, I'm the one tip because I'm the one paying. But
Right.
but like how they talk to them. Because like I dated some ladies where me and her were having good camaraderie. We were laughing and talking. But it seemed like every time the waiter came, and they trying to work well with you to get a good tip,
Right.
and so they're not gonna come in with no attitude. But you talking to them all like they underneath you, and they crazy, and
Brent, all I heard
I,
is you say you was paying. So ladies, did y'all hear that? He said it ain't about the tip because he tipping, he paying. So if y'all go out with Brent,
Don't matter.
y'all know he taking
Order the Lobzilla.
order the Lobzilla with the steak Shrilla or whatever. The steak on the side, lobster, because he got it. He gonna take care of it.
The filet mignon, all of that there. Matter of fact, cut the whole side slab of the cow, fry it, and throw it on the grill, and put it on my plate.
Ladies,
Cost
it,
don't matter.
it don't matter.
He got it.
He
You know what I'm
said
saying?
he said whatever you want.
excuse me,
It's in the bag.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
It's in the bag. He paying. He tipping.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom and then slip right out there. Do that
Ma'am?
if you want to.
Like, ma'am, where did the gentleman go? Oh, he's in the restroom. He's been in there for about 30 minutes. Is he all right?
You gonna hear a vehicle skirt.
No, I'm just that's good. Good point though, bro.
But
Yeah,
I
how
mean,
you treat the waiter though? That's good. I
yeah,
didn't think about that.
I have been like there was this one girl, we and her went out, and the way she treated the waiter, I mean, she gave him real good respect, and she talked to him like. At first, I thought she was hitting on him, but that was her personality. She was just like, we all got talking about our families and stuff, and I pay attention to small stuff like that because I know how I'm gonna treat. Well, I'm gonna try to have camaraderie with them. So
yeah, I'm gonna treat them well so they don't do
I'm
nothing to my food. Yeah,
but like crazy, and the poor child didn't even do nothing. They just trying to get your drink order, but
Yeah.
and then that turned me off, and I was like.
Right.
Yeah, that's a sign.
Right. And I guess I can throw in there, like I know we talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I can throw in there, and I value communication a lot as well. You know what I'm saying? That's to me, that's extremely important is communication. So I value someone who likes to communicate. I don't think I could deal with somebody who is standoffish and somebody who wants to hold stuff in and not talk about it and
or try to give you the silent treatment.
Right. I don't. Yeah. That. No. I can't do that. I'm sorry. It'll be done quick. Like if you walking around and acting like a kid and you're not talking to me, yeah, no, I'm sorry, we can't do that, player. It ain't gonna work. But yeah, I mean that's what I was trying to get at. I was trying to get at I was trying to get in more depth of value versus just the surface and finances. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand that finances are important. But there's so much more, to having to someone's value other than the amount of money that they make. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was trying to get at. I wanted to get a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's that's real good, man. That's a good topic.
Please let us know.
Yeah.
Give us some comments in the comment section. Let us know what y'all opinions are.
Yeah.
Definitely let us know. We want to hear some feedback because one of these days we're gonna get a panel up here. Yeah. We're gonna get a lot of people's opinions right on video. So we definitely want feedback for sure.
Yeah. And ladies, don't get the shrimp. Get the steak if you go out with Brent. Don't forget. He
Lobzilla.
paying. He
He
paying. He
paying.
got it taken
Lobzilla.
care of.
The filet mignon, Lobzilla, the slab steak.
All of it. And tipping.
Excuse me, I gotta
And
go to the
tipping.
bathroom. I'll be right
And
back.
and when he get up, make sure you follow him. Make sure he get to the right bathroom.
Right. Yeah. There you go, Mildred. Follow,
Make sure he get.
There you go, Mildred.
Make sure he get to the right bathroom.
No,
Right,
babe,
Make sure he's okay.
I'm country. I like to pee
Check on
outside.
Yeah. Make sure he get to the right one.
Right. You gotta check on him. Make sure
If y'all
make
at the
sure your man
Mexican,
okay.
if y'all at the Mexican restaurant, that mugs it say hombre. That's the one you go to. That's the one he got to go into.
There you go, Mildred. Yes. Yes. All right, y'all.
And watch the next date y'all go on. That's exactly what's finna happen to you. Your wife Braxton she gonna order the most expensive thing, and Mel, the next girl you out with, she just gonna go ham.
But you want to give? You know what? We gonna split this one. We're gonna split that one.
Yeah, I gotta split it up, man. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. All right. So we gonna let that go. We're gonna move on to sports. All right. So Meldrick, we know you got sports unlocked, man. And so what's going on in the sports world?
Oh well, as everybody knows, the football is back up on us.
How did you say that?
What?
You said football.
Oh, football
I
is
thought you
back
said
up on
that.
us.
How about them cap? No, maybe not.
No,
You didn't
no,
say
we
that.
can, you know.
Why in the heck? I mean, I'm sorry. Why in the heck did you bring that up? That game. Luckily, it was just a preseason game, but that was terrible.
You know what? We can definitely talk about it real quick. You know, we can get a real quick. In football, the Dallas Cowboys in the Hall of Fame game took on the Steelers of Pittsburgh, and they lost 16-3. Now, of course, a lot of the starters weren't playing and all that, so it wasn't, and it doesn't count, but it drew a lot of fans because I actually was I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was quite a few people in there, people with their jerseys on, Cowboy jerseys, Steelers jerseys, hats, terrible towels. What I'm saying? Everybody was ready. They thought it was a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, football is back up on us. So
yes.
they the Cowboys are 0-1, and Cincinnati is 1-0. We just beat the Super Bowl champions. So we looking pretty good right now.
It's
Like I said,
preseason.
it is
preseason.
It didn't count.
It's preseason game. But don't forget to mention Jimmy Johnson is now in the Ring of Honor. So
he is.
That was a win.
He
was.
That was a win.
And he went in with one. Well, he went in with another Cowboy, Drew Pearson.
Yeah.
About
time.
The original 88, as he says. The
Yeah.
original 88.
Do you know there are still old folks mad at Jerry Jones for getting rid of, first of all, firing Tom Landry and then firing Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah,
Still some old.
because of those two people, Jimmy Johnson and Tom Landry wasn't going to be like y'all's most recent coach and just sit there and take it. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. Yeah, I'll do that, sir. Yeah, now Tom Landry was going to speak up, and Jimmy Johnson was. Both of them was going to have something to say. That's why Bill Parcells didn't last long there, because he wasn't going to get talked too crazy neither. You know what I'm saying? So, right. So that's,
Tom Landry went to the game with a bulletproof vest on. You think he gonna take mess from Jerry Jones? And Jimmy Johnson, he came up with one of the best slogans in the world. How about and when he came out with that, how about them Cowboys, and the shine was taken off of Jerry Jones? It's like he said, I got to get rid of it. And they supposed to be friends.
Right. Mm-hmm. And he was the one who coached those Miami teams.
Right.
Or the bad boys per se, in college football for a few years there. And so, but yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, a lot of, I know why people aren't happy because you had these coaches who were winning, and you got rid of them, and then you
You
start
got
losing.
rid of them.
You know what I'm
And,
saying?
and,
So
and, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't the last Super Bowl we won 30 years ago, when they won that Super Bowl, Jimmy was there and they handed the trophy to him, and Jerry ran over there and took it. I think
Well,
I
the
got
last one
that.
was Barry Switzer was the coach.
But Jimmy
The
was
last
there.
oh Jimmy was there.
I think that if Jimmy was there, and they want and Emmett and Troy and them, they want the Packer. They were saying this really was for you.
what was it?
Mhm.
90? What was it? 95 or
95,
96?
95, 95, 95, the 95 Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Okay,
And I'm just like, what is it with Jerry and just wanting shine?
that's that's him.
Yeah.
That's him,
And
and
I
that's his
guess that's
personality.
just who
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's just
So,
him as a businessman. You can't really cross Jerry and think that he not gonna, you know,
right,
sit there and be idle and not do anything. I
right,
think if you
right.
cross Jerry, then something is gonna go down.
Yeah, that's true.
So it ain't gonna be nice, whatever it is. Yeah, you just can't cross the man.
Right.
This is his team.
Yeah.
And he only gets worse as he gets older.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't cross
Well,
Jerry.
yeah. But like I said, football is on us, and back up has came back, you got some preseason NBA, well, not preseason, but you got some of the summer league NBA games going on. You got some of the new guys are showing up and showing out in these summer league games and stuff. Um, and what I wanted to get to real quick and real briefly,
Uh-huh.
we didn't talk about it much, but was the Olympics. Olympics happened just just the last couple of weeks, like I want to say last 3 weeks or so.
August the 8th was the last day.
Yeah, and so yeah, so the Olympics happened. Uh, United States came away with the most medals, 113.
Mhm.
That included 39 gold medals, 41 silver, and 33 bronze. Now, as we all know, the United States is always uh, they were always ones to rule the track, other than Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
That
Jamaica.
didn't happen. That did not happen this year. Um, I don't know what happened. There was a lot of injuries, and then a lot of people that didn't show up. Then there was we came away with a few wins. We took 1 and 2 in the 400-meter hurdles. I believe we won gold in the mile relay, which is the 4x4. I think the women got. I think the women placed in the 4x1. I don't believe the men did. I think the men had a. I don't. I think I don't. I think the men got disqualified. I'm not 100% sure. I have to look it up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well,
The 4x1. The
they
4x1.
they came in right, like
Yeah,
yeah.
they wasn't on the podium, and so we didn't have a representative. Well, no, we did. We had one representative in the 100. I believe he got silver. Uh, we didn't have any representation on the podium in the women's 100-meter final.
That's
Um,
all Jamaica.
right, and I
Right.
think and I believe the same thing in the 200 was all Jamaica.
All Jamaica. Yep.
Um, and so I mean, on the track is usually where we shine, but it just wasn't this year. Now, in the water, the United States shined. On the basketball court, United States shined. Both men and women took away gold. Um, in gymnastics, we one of the Suni Lee, she took a gold in the all around. And now, of course, we all know that Simone Biles was dealing with some mental issues, so she
Mhm.
she opted out of a lot of the things, but she did
Still
get
get a medal.
yeah, she got a bronze medal
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
on the balance beam. She came away with the
Go.
bronze on that.
Mhm.
So I mean, we actually showed up in a lot of other sports. Beach volleyball, the women won gold. I can't remember what the men placed. I'd have to look it up. But I know the women won the 2-on-2 beach volleyball, uh, and I believe the women won the indoor volleyball. I believe
Oh,
the
really?
United States. Yeah, I believe they won they beat Brazil in the final. So, like I said, the United States came away with quite a few wins. Like I said, we won the total medal count. Uh, and so, like I said, we showed up, just didn't show up in the normal areas that we normally show up in. Uh, like we had I think 3 gold medalists in wrestling. One of them, which was a black
Woman.
lady. The
Yeah.
black lady, she won a gold medal. First
Mhm.
African American woman to win gold medal ever. Um, and so I mean, we came, we saw, we conquered. Like I said, in a lot of different things, just not in the normal things that we normally uh,
Right.
Mhm.
uh, dominate, I guess you can say. But like I said, overall, it was a good Olympics. It was fun to watch. They had some new Olympic games this year, well, new Olympic sports this year, I guess you can say. So who knows? One of these days they might have foosball in there, and they got foosball. I'm jumping on it. You know what I'm saying? We used to be at Ralph Wilson going hard on the foosball table. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, who knows? Anything can become an Olympic sport. You know,
Mhm.
so it's so many. Like I had no idea what handball was. It's like
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
soccer with your hands. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so I'm like, what in the world is this? I was like, I can do that. I can get out there and throw the ball. Now, of course, you
It's a
got to be in.
technique too, though.
You're right. You're
That's a
right.
technique.
Because there was one sport I had no idea. I thought that they were just standing in the water, but
Mhm.
water polo,
Polo. Oh,
they're in like 12 feet of water. So they got to tread
they
water and do
tread,
all of that.
and
So
they're
you got to
going
be
back
in,
and forth.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. So you
it's
got
a
to
wow.
be in
workout.
great shape and you got to be a strong swimmer.
Yeah.
Because you swimming with one arm and you trying to throw the ball into
Trying
this
to
hoop.
throw the ball.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's something that's difficult because
Yeah.
I literally used to think that they were in like 5 feet of
3 feet of
water.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally, but no, they in like 12 feet of water.
We
They
tread.
gotta tread that water for real.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, man,
So.
the Olympics they had a good Olympics, and so I was glad to see that. We do have a little bit of disappointing news. I know we were all on board to watch Manny Pacquiao and Earl Spence fight, but unfortunately, the fight will not happen on August the 21st. Well, at least it won't be Earl Spence in the fight. Manny
Right.
Pacquiao fighting still, but he won't be fighting. He won't be fighting Earl Spence because Earl he suffered a torn retina in a sparring session a few weeks ago, or a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, whatever. And so he had to have surgery. Surgery was successful, but he won't be healed enough in time, for the fight. So he's going to have to step down. And the person that stepped in his place was Jordinas Yugas. I am not familiar with him. Um, so it's going to be interesting. He took the fight on 3 weeks notice,
Mhm.
so hopefully he's been staying in shape because I already know Manny's going to be in shape because he was preparing to fight one of the best. So I know he was going to be in tip top shape. So I don't know what you guys is going to be looking like. So we'll see come Saturday and what's going to happen. So I mean, and one last thing, I'm gonna shoot it to Braxton because I know he wanted to talk about it a little bit. Uh, the SEC is looking like it's going to become even larger
Yeah.
with 2 major schools from the Big 12 coming or supposedly be getting ready to head over to the SEC, that being University of Texas and the University of Oklahoma.
Mhm.
What were you? What did you want to say about that, Brax?
Yeah, no, just right. Not too long after we had talked about it last time, they had
Right.
went ahead and had the SEC teams or schools vote on it. About letting Texas and Oklahoma in, and they voted them in. All of them did, which I think was in part a shot because we wasn't sure about A&M.
Did they A&M vote?
A&M
You sure?
voted.
Really? They voted them
They
in? Or They
voted
they
them
might
in.
have been the one vote out. They
They
might have been
vote.
the one vote out.
No, they
Was it
voted
a
them in.
really?
All the
Because I
schools,
Yep.
know because when I actually
100%.
when I saw when they made the official announcement, A&M came out and said We want to be the only Texas school in the SEC.
Yeah.
So that's a shocker to me.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been a majority vote, not a unanimous vote.
Well,
Yeah.
you
But
got to look at the main power at play, money.
exactly. The main
Yeah,
power, but even A&M is not the main school in the SEC. Think about
No, it's
it.
not.
So they can't
yeah,
really raise any hell or right now
right.
because they're not the big school. They're not the big boy
It's
on the
No.
the
block. You
it's the
got Alabama, right? You got
Crimson School
Bama.
over there.
Really, a lot of
LSU.
SEC schools or LSU.
Yeah, they all
Auburn.
hold more power
Yeah,
than
Florida.
A&M.
Yeah, so they
Yeah.
all hold more power. Georgia, right?
Right.
Oh
And
yeah.
so these are some big powerhouses. So they all hold more power. A&M was let in. A&M was a Big 12 team first as well. They
Right.
let them in, and so
They had now A&M had power in the Big 12.
Right.
They
yeah, they
had
had
power in
power
the
in the
Big
Big
12,
12. Yeah,
but in the SEC, they got to gain that power back.
yeah,
They
yeah.
got
I
to
think
start. They
all
got
the
to
Texas, all of them are gonna have to gain
right.
some power.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be. I mean, I think it's so much of a with the SEC, man. There's so many schools, and they
Right.
all recruit very well. It's gonna be hard for Texas and A&M to come in, trying to call the shots, which I
Right.
think is a good thing because I think that's what was maybe one of the issues with the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
You had certain schools who had all the power and other schools who didn't.
Yeah.
So,
So what? So let me ask you this quick question:
mhm.
If it happens, and which it looked like it's going to happen, if it does, if and when it does happen,
Mhm.
who you think is going to be the Big 12 boss then? The Baylor?
No, I still like Big 12 boss.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the Big 12
They'll
they'll
probably end up
probably go
recruiting some other schools.
they'll probably go for a little bit. You still got Texas Tech. You
Right.
still got TCU and you got Baylor,
Yeah.
who are going to be your top, and Oklahoma State,
Right.
who are going to be your top schools, in Iowa State actually. Iowa
Yeah.
State, Iowa State actually almost went undefeated last year in the Big 12
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
until they came up against Oklahoma.
And then
So those are
if
going to
you're
be your
talking
top
about
schools.
basketball, you talk about Kansas.
Kansas, right? You got
Yeah.
Kansas in basketball, and so, but you even talking about maybe there's even talk about Big 12 teaming up with like Pac-12.
Yeah.
Some of those schools on the West Coast. And just forming maybe you know three big conferences or four big conferences.
Right.
Within college football. So you got the ACC out there, you got the Big Ten, who's
Yeah.
still out there, and then you even talking about maybe even the ACC. I think there was talk about them meeting the ACC, Big Ten, Pac-12, and the Big 12 meeting to form a conference. So
Really.
then you would have two conferences who just running everything, you know,
The the
and so
the Big 13 pack.
you're right. The Big 13 Pac
ACC.
Pac 10, Pac 12, ACC ish. It's just too many. It's a lot of teams, right?
Right. Right.
In the talk, but I love college football. So just all the talk going
Mm-hmm.
around, and it's about money, like Brent was saying. It's about money. And Oklahoma and Texas definitely have the money.
Right.
Don't be fooled. They got it.
Oh yeah.
Um, and they could buy their way out of the contract now if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it's also about recruiting because I don't know if you remember it, Mildred, but you called A&M the little brother of UT, right?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But
I
it's
Yeah.
only
remember he
been like
said
that
that.
until recently.
Hmm.
A&M actually last year ranked number 4, out of all the teams, and they almost got
Right.
into the playoffs. And
Right.
so they've been recruiting better since they've been in the SEC. And so I think it's just recruiting's changed. All the players that leave Texas most of them go to the SEC
Mm.
to play
Yeah.
because that's what they call it, like the junior NFL, right?
Right.
You're gonna
They believe when you leave an SEC school, you are NFL ready.
right, right.
So
And you want to play on those games. You want to play against Bama. You want to play against LSU, Georgia.
yeah.
Those are the
Mm-hmm.
games you want to be in because that's what everybody's looking at. That's where everybody's
Yeah.
watching. And that's where the money's at. And think about it. Players can get endorsements now.
Yeah.
The
I was just gonna
quarterback for
say, do you
Alabama
think
has
right?
the quarterback for Alabama already has like $1 million endorsement.
Yeah.
With like a car dealership or something. It's crazy. And
Yeah.
so I think even the quarterback of Miami has an endorsement now. So think
Yeah, he does.
about where all the money's going to start going to the
Yep.
SEC because these are the big boys on the block.
And just real quick, since you're talking about players being able to make money off of their name and likeness, there is a Texas high school quarterback. His name is Quinn Ewers. He played at South Lake Carroll. They went to the state championship last year. They lost. Matter of fact, it was father versus son in the state championship last year. South Lake Carroll played Austin Westlake, and he is on his way to Ohio State, but he foregoed his senior year to enroll at Ohio State early so he could make money off of his name and likeness. Because while you're in high school, you're unable. You can't do that. So he foregoed his whole senior year to enroll early so he can make money off of his name and likeness. Now, is that going to be a trend? I don't know. Me personally, I don't like it. I get it, but I don't like it because I want to see the best of the best when it comes to, especially in football and high school football. I want to see the top quarterback go against the other top quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's gonna become a money thing too, though.
It will. Yeah. It will. So I mean, is that what's going to start happening?
Yeah.
So,
and I was asking my uncle. My uncle's a coach. He coaches. Right. He's a high school football coach right now, but he's coached at colleges as well. New Mexico State and Texas College. He's coached there, but he was telling me. I asked him about it, and he was saying, the thing is, it's not bad that they're getting paid off their likeness, but he's like, what about that big fat sloppy lineman?
right.
He's not getting paid.
Right. The guy who blocked for you.
Right. The guy who's in the trenches. Right. He's not getting paid. So what's the team dynamic going to be? This guy's making all the money, but this guy, is still struggling or living off of, tuition or whatever, and so it's just things you got to think about. And, I think it's all, like you said, Brent, it's all about money. It's things are trending toward the SEC. They got the best recruits. They got money, and recruitment. And so I think Texas and Oklahoma are going to get better from it. Of course, we don't know when it's officially going to go through because their contracts are not up yet until like 2025.
Yeah, it's 2025. Right. I mean, they wouldn't have made this decision if it wasn't going to be good for them.
Exactly.
So, right.
Yeah. And they said it was almost like a draft. Like, who wouldn't want Texas or Oklahoma to come to their conference? They could have went anywhere, and they would have picked them up right away. And so we just may see more trends. We may see more teams even trying to lead. You got West Virginia out there, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. These teams can, eventually lead the Big 12, and there won't be any more Big 12.
All right.
I mean, because honestly, that's how it happened. Years ago, there were some conferences that were in place, but then the teams dispersed, and that conference became no longer existent.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think the Big 12 won't let that happen. I believe if and when Oklahoma and Texas leave, they're going to jump on, the best that they can pick up to get to come to the Big 12. They'll throw a bunch of money, they won't be outdone. The other conferences won't be outdone. They'll definitely come up with something to where they can compete with the SEC for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. Right now, they're not getting the TV deals though that the SEC is getting. And so, they're not getting the TV deals right now that the SEC is getting. Some of the other Big 12's not. I guess their TV deals are less money than any other conferences out there, and they don't even have a Big 12 network. Every other conference out there has their own network. Yeah. And so you got to think about that too. And these schools like Baylor and TCU, and then Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. I mean, they could team up, make a package deal, go somewhere else and sell themselves. Try to join the ACC or join the Pac-12 or Big 12 or Big 10.
Yeah.
To better their recruitment as well. And so you just think about it, so many things you can play with. And I don't know, it's just interesting to me, and I just want to see what happens just because I spend all Saturday watching college football sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Right. But it's like college football is like an upgraded level of high school football. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of the same same atmosphere. You know, it's pure. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the football. It's not about, I mean, it is about money, but it's not like ain't nobody gonna sit on the sideline because they didn't get the $5 million that they were promised. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, you still gonna play, right? Because you
right.
gotta
Yeah.
you gotta get scouted. Yeah,
Exactly.
still
You
gonna
got to
play.
prove yourself.
Right, you still gotta
Right.
prove yourself.
Yeah. You gotta put your best foot forward so they can you can be looked at, you know, for a professional level.
Yeah.
And while Braxton's getting that up, breaking news just hit that Associated Press just put out that the U.S. experts expect to recommend COVID-19 vaccine boosters for all Americans 8 months after the second shot.
Okay.
That just came across my phone, and I'm just
Breaking
like,
news.
yeah, breaking news. I don't know how the heck you gonna get folks to get the shot or even wear a mask. Now they recommending folks to get a third shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We'll see how this battle gonna go.